Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and welcome to today's session. How are you doing? I pray that all is well with you and your families at this time. So, one of the most powerful qualities that a person can ever possess is the ability to decide, to make a decision. And that ability, although we take it for granted, is not an easy thing. Because by the nature of one's mind, the mind will tell you so many things, and it will even convince you today on that idea, and tomorrow it will go against that very same idea. So how does one make a decision, especially concerning one's life? So this is a very powerful attribute that comes through a deep level of spiritual understanding, because one who's connected on a spiritual level is able to see the spiritual, the subtle, and the gross manifestation of consciousness through the body. So that's a very empowering situation to be. That's a very empowering level of knowledge. So in our understanding of Bhagavad Gita, we are seeing that this soldier, Arjuna, is in that moment in his life when he has to make a crucial decision whether to fight or whether to flee. And as we're studying his situation, we're relating to our own situations in life where we have to make big decisions about how our life will unfold for the future. So we're studying this from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse number 34. Akritam chapi bhutani kata yasyanti te vayam sambhavitasya chakirtir Maranad atiriksyate. Translation: people will always speak of your infamy. So as we're following this, we see Krishna is motivating Arjuna from the bodily level, that you should be proud to be a Kshatriya. You have earned your badge. You have fought against demigods. You're just not an ordinary soldier. And having that level of reputation, now you should stand up and fight. And the reason Krishna is giving Arjuna is that people will always speak of your infamy. So we see that this is the first level at which we see ourselves. How does other people see us? This is a very big assessment of our lives. And if we think about it, we start to live our lives according to the way people see us. And that is not life. That is living our lives according to other people's judgments. So this is a very great teaching that's coming out here. That if you want to live your life and you want to understand and experience your own life, don't compare it to somebody else. You are a unique entity. Look at your thumbprint. Your thumbprint means you are biologically coded. Who is trying to recognize you? There is a biological system of recognition in the universe that knows you as a separate individual identity. And we're so confident of this that we even use this on a material level to identify ourselves within a society. So if we live our lives according to what other people think and what other people say, then we are just pulled into that communal culture of weakness. It's a culture of weakness because your whole life is guided by what one person says or doesn't say. If somebody praises you, then you appreciate and acknowledge yourself. If somebody criticizes you, then you demonize and bring yourself down just because of what somebody thinks or somebody says. This is a very weak estimation of yourself.
You meet somebody wealthy? Their family at one point was not wealthy. And then the one shows up. The one. One person changes a family tree forever. In my family, I'm the one. And it wasn't because I wanted it or I hoped for it. I fought for it. I want to win. I want to fight for my family. I want my mom and dad proud of me. I want my kids proud of me. I want me proud of me. I want to look in the mirror and be happy with the man I look back at. That he gave it everything, that he went for it. But here's the truth. Most people's dreams can be bought. With enough failure, with enough rejection, they will sell their dreams. They can't still fight. They can get a little bit, but when it gets a little too hot, they go, boom, sold, buy the dream, you can have it. It's not worth it to me. And their will to win is buyable. You can buy it, but if you decide my will cannot be bought, I don't care how long it takes, you can't buy this dude out. I'll keep fighting for my family. I'm the one. I'm gonna change my family tree forever. That's the decision. Decide now. You're gonna keep negotiating the price, or can you not be bought?
Don't give up on yourself. Don't throw the towel in so quickly. Many people give up on the 1-yard line. You know the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit. There's greatness in you. And you've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside. And since I'm going to do this, I'm going to harness my will. And I'm not going to let anything stop me. I deserve this. Working on yourself, talking to yourself. That's so very important. Overcoming the negative conversation, that inner dialogue that's going on all the time. You got to stand up inside yourself sometimes and say, shut up! I'm in control here. You've got to have an uplifted expression. Watch your body posture. All of these things affect you psychically. Start working and developing yourself now and prepare yourself for what it is that you want, because you expect to get it.
All I need you to do is speak up and say, I expect to win. Declare that it's over. That yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to come up short. When you set out for a goal, expect it to happen. Expect to be successful. Expect it to be positive. If you can expect it, if you can wake up feeling like a winner, if you can wake up talking like a winner, if you can expect that everything you do will come out winning, I guarantee you, you never ever have to come up short again.
It might be year 2, 3, 4 before you get your big win, but you could decide now, I'm gonna walk, talk, and be a different person. You decide that. You're the lead character in the story of your life. Everything has to do with you intending to win. Too many of you are playing with your business. If you make that shift, I'm going to win. We're going to play to win now. We're not playing to play. We're not playing to see how we do. We're not playing for fun. Once you start getting some winning, you start changing. You talk different. You walk different. All of a sudden, this isn't the same damn human being.
And if you think about it honestly, most of us are stuck in that kind of mindset. So at this level of teaching, Krishna is using that to make Arjuna also understand that your reputation is built up and people will always criticize your infamy. Krishna uses the word always because this is a trait of people who are weak. Somebody who's weak-minded, you'll see they speak a lot and their words are cheap. And one of the easiest ways to see this is they will criticize a lot. And therefore, in the spiritual tradition, it said try to appreciate others. It's the total opposite. Try to appreciate everyone for what they are doing at the level that they are. Everyone is struggling with life. Everyone is struggling with the laws of nature. Everyone is struggling with their own mind. So from where they are, if we can appreciate what they've done, this is a great attribute. To be able to see good qualities, even though externally it may be different. So we see that a community is made up of individual people. And if people have this trait of criticizing, of speaking infamously about others, then that creates a community of people with the same kind of mindset. And that then brings a culture of criticism, a culture of weakness. It becomes a whole community of weak-minded people who think it's their job to criticize and see the faults of others, but they never look at themselves. Actually, a person who's developing his mind, a person who's strengthening himself, who's strengthening his mind, is somebody who's working on himself. He's somebody who will not so easily criticize because he knows everyone is trying their best at the level that they are. So from where they are, try to encourage. It doesn't take effort to discourage, right? But it does take effort to encourage. So as we are assessing ourselves from the inner core, from understanding our nature, what is the voice that we are listening to? Are we listening to the voice of others that discourage us? Or are we listening to the voice of others that encourage us? Because the voice that you feed is the voice that you'll become. if you're connected to people who are encouraging, who are positive, who are trying, who are developing themselves internally, who are strengthening their mind, then that will happen to you. You'll become strong. You'll have a strong mind. You'll understand yourself better. But if you are associating with weaker-minded people who are less concerned about their inner self and just living life like everybody else in the community, then you're also going to become like that. So I'm sure that everybody wants the best for themselves, but that choice is yours. Learn how to decide. Learn how to know what is best for you, and learn how to block off the naysayers, those who say, no, you can't do it. So he goes on, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. So just see, if you're living your life according to other people's praises and critiques, then that same person who will praise you is the same person who will criticize you. And if you're living your life according to that, when the criticism comes, then how do you handle it? Because you lived your life according to what people are saying, according to the value system of that society, which many times is based on simple sense gratification without any deep understanding of the self, of self-realization, which the Aryan culture is teaching. So what is the culture that you are following? If you're following that weak-minded culture, you become weak. But if you can follow the Aryan culture, you become strong. So if we honestly assess our community that we're living in, we see that same community will praise us, and in a moment, that same community will criticize us. So if you're living your life based on that, a life determined by what other people say is a very weak-minded life. You're stronger than that. The fact that you're watching these videos means you're stronger than that. So connect to your true nature. Connect to the right-minded people.
What is the common denominator of failure? Why are you failing? You never say because of me. Oh, it's the competition. It's the economy. It's the president. It's Congress. If you wake up tomorrow morning and blame your failure on someone or something else, you have no reason to change, do you? But if you woke up in the morning and looked in the mirror and said, I am failing because of me, the decisions that I make, the energy I put in, I'm not passing the blame. If you look in the mirror tomorrow and say that, you will change. Because nobody likes thinking of themselves as a failure.
Winners win and losers lose. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
Take ownership. Take ownership of everything in your world, the good and the bad. Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Take ownership of your mistakes. Take ownership of your shortfalls. Take ownership of your problems. And then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved. Take ownership of your job, of your team, of your future, and take ownership of your life.
The people in life that win play offense, not defense. Stop backing into everything. Stand up. Bow your back a little bit. Start to walk a little different. Start to be that best version of you. You can do it in your quiet way. You can do it the way you do it. But somehow they got to look at you and go, okay, I won't monkey with that one. You push back. You get obsessed. You got to get relentless. You got to be a road dog. You got to get intense. You got to have a permeating attitude that you're going to win. You got to have a positive outlook. You got to be optimistic. You got to know you're going to win. You got to, right now, you got to say, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. My life is going to win. There's going to be a victorious life here. Because listen to me, the price you pay for losing here is too extreme. You have to carry the burden of failure the rest of your life.
As we begin to elevate ourselves and not to follow the crowd, activating the thinker in us and disciplining and putting on hold the emotional part of ourselves, It's not easy, but through practice and practice and practice, practice makes improvement. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. You'll never hit a state of perfection. You're always bigger than what you do. And so all you're looking for are new breakthroughs through practice and practice and practice. You'll get better and better and better. Something you should affirm to yourself every day. Repeat this, please. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. The people that make it in this world look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them. It's hard. No, easy is not an option. However, ladies and gentlemen, what you will discover is that it's worth it. Takes guts. You got to dig down deep to gut it out. Keep on going again and again and again until you make it happen, because you know that it's possible, and you are the determining factor.